Hi, I'm Pam Card. I'm with Louisiana Organ Procurement Agency, otherwise known as LOPA. And I'm here today with Charlie, who is from Calcasieu Parish Coroner's Office. Thank you, Charlie, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I know we have a very important topic today.
I think it's very important for the people in Louisiana to know that right now the leading cause of infant deaths in our state is due to preventable and accidental infant suffocation.
And when you talk about suffocation, what do you mean?
Anytime there's an infant death, the coroner, of course, responds to a scene. And that's how we see a lot of what's causing these infant deaths. And what we're seeing across our state is that a large majority of the deaths that are occurring of these infants are as a result of several factors, one of those being an unsafe sleep environment due to loose bedding and pillows and bumper pads, co-sleeping from sleeping in bed with parents or grandparents or siblings.
And preventable, that's what we're here for today.
Right now in the United States, we have on average of 3,600 infant deaths a year that are dying due to preventable means such as accidental suffocation and unsafe sleep environments. So if you think about that on a large scale, you think about 2 school buses full of children that disappear every single week. So imagine 2 school buses full of kids for 52 weeks of the year. That's how many preventable infant deaths we're having in the United States. Louisiana ranks 48th out of 50 in infant mortality. And that's something we want to try to change. Like you said, prevention and awareness is the way to make change, and that's what we want to do.
What are you doing in Calcasieu to prevent these deaths?
You know, Calcasieu right now, according to statistics from the Louisiana Department of Health, we actually lead the entire state by 1.5 times the amount of preventable infant deaths. So we started the Southwest Louisiana Safe Sleep Task Force. We also partnered with the National Cribs for Kids Safe Sleep Initiative. So that is bifold. We're able to, number one, host monthly educational classes, and we teach them all about sudden infant death syndrome and the risk factors on how to reduce those risk factors, but also how to eliminate 100% of preventable infant deaths. And right now, we teach monthly safe sleep classes, we host monthly community events, and more importantly, we partner with Cribs for Kids, and that allows us to provide portable pack-and-play cribs to less fortunate families in Southwest Louisiana to ensure that every infant has a safe sleep environment to sleep. In 1994, the Center for Disease Control did a change in their sleeping positions from recommending infants to sleep on their stomach to now sleeping on their back. It was called the Back to Sleep campaign. In the next 10-year period, from 1994 to 2004, infant deaths across the United States reduced by 50%. So that gets us into what's the safest model today. The safest thing that we can always recommend is as simple as ABC: alone, on their back, and in a crib. By placing a child alone in their own sleep environment, such as a pack and play, a portable crib, a wooden crib, whatever you have, they need their own sleep environment. By putting them alone, you eliminate all preventable factors from what's called co-sleeping or overlaying, where a portion of someone sleeping with them can cause an accidental suffocation. And you have to think it only takes a matter of seconds for an infant to stop breathing because their lungs are not fully developed like ours is. Always focus on putting your child or your infant to sleep on their back. There are 2 things with the on the back. Number one, by putting them on their back, you eliminate a risk factor for choking. Anatomically, one of the most common misconceptions that we're told, like you said, especially from grandparents, is the choking and the vomiting and the aspirating on such as milk or formula. And by putting a child to sleep on their back, you actually reduce that because the way the esophagus and the trachea is designed in the body, the milk or the formula would have to go against gravity to get into the lungs if the child is on their back. Therefore, it is actually safer for the infant to be on their back as opposed to their stomach. The second part of being on your back and on their back on a firm surface, which is why we only recommend a tight-fitted sheet over the mattress that comes on the crib or the pack and play, is because, as I mentioned, their lungs are not developed as yours and ours as an adult. So by having a firm surface, that allows the infant after each breath to take a deeper breath, and it allows their lungs to push off of a hard surface as opposed to a soft surface. If you add extra blankets or there's soft bedding, they don't take as deep breaths as they normally would, which helps slow the infant's development. And the last part of that is always in their crib. Never place an infant to sleep in an adult bed with caregivers, mom, dad, grandparents, or siblings. Unfortunately, one of the most tragic things that we see in our office is deaths that occur from what's called co-sleeping. And right now, across our state, that is the #1 cause of infant deaths, unfortunately, is where an infant is co-sleeping with an adult and their air exchange is blocked and they're no longer able to breathe. So the easiest thing to remember is to always follow the ABCs of safe sleep. By following the alone, placing the child on their back and in their own crib, you can reduce your risk for sudden infant death syndrome and eliminate 100% of accidental deaths such as suffocation due to an unsafe sleep environment.
Charlie, I'm so glad you came today to share this education and what we're supposed to do in caring for infants.
You're welcome. Education is a very powerful thing, and having that knowledge out there and getting that knowledge out there to the people, I think is going to make a big difference. And unfortunately, in those situations where we couldn't prevent that accident, or that preventable death, we've had to deal with LOPA quite often, and we're able to do some donation and turn somewhat of a negative situation into such a positive situation to be able to help save maybe another life. So thank you guys in LOPA for all that you guys do as well.
Thank you, Charlie. And again, if you need more information concerning safe sleep and how to educate your family, go to lopa.org/safesleep.